The forecast for the next segment was 100% chance of 74 inches of Sting.
Well, hold on. I want to tell you, just like you said earlier, where you wrote down before the Cody match that it would start off hot and then afterbirth. Same thing here. I right away knew Jake and Lance Archer will be coming out because Sting can't do any promos without someone interfering. It was Team Taz. And then last week it was Jake and Lance Archer, so I knew it would be them again.
But I didn't know it'd be both.
And then, well, I did start thinking in the middle of it, well, Team Taz really isn't doing anything right now, are they? And then, boom, there they are.
So what we see is Tony brings out Sting and Darby Allin. Darby Allin. It's an old folk song. And Darby Allin. Tony asks Darby Allin a question. Immediately, Darby Allin takes the microphone. And Tony, once again, just throws his hand up and steps back. And I hate that. And I'll explain why I hate that again. When do you see it in the octagon? When do you see it at courtside on the NBA? When do you see it field side in the NFL? The interviewer asks the athlete a question and holds the microphone while the athlete answers it. But because all these guys have grown up watching the Attitude Era, when all of wrestling became the South Park episode where they're emoting in the ring with a spotlight on them, he just fucking takes the microphone away from the interviewer. Again, Watts used to talk about that. Dusty used to talk about that. The announcer is in control of the program. There's a structure. There's a hierarchy. Anyway, so Darby speaks like he's been hypnotized as usual, but finally fired up a little bit. And right as he did, here comes Lance Archer and Jake Roberts. Again, they're mad because they didn't get their time. Archer did a pretty good promo, halfway fired up. Jake called Darby Allin a weenie. They're all saying son of a bitch and shit on this show, and Jake calls Darby a weenie. And basically they told Sting and Darby Allin off and they left. And then it's open mic night. Here comes Team Taz from the other way. And by the way, which tube is the heel tube and which tube is the babyface tube? Because I saw Lance Archer and Jake Roberts, clearly heels because they're being mean to the babyfaces, walk through one tube, and through the other tube, here comes Team Taz, clearly heels because they've been mean to the babyfaces. But then Cage jumps up, Brian Cage, Mr. Get My Shit In, and cuts a promo on Sting where he respects Sting. Ricky Starks is wrong about him. The rest of Team Taz goes, what the fuck are you saying? He shoves his way through them and walks off. Now they're breaking up. And they're mad at each other. And through this entire segment, the one person who never spoke a single word is the highest paid guy there. Sting. What was this segment supposed to accomplish besides confusion in the marketplace?
Well, first of all, I love these train wreck segments on AEW. Darby established that he wants to defend the TNT title more regularly. He's only defended it like 3 times, I think he said, which is a bit ridiculous that we're talking about it.
And then he said, I've defended it 3 times, and the people cheered because they thought that was their cheer line. He's like, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, by the way, Darby, maybe you could defend it a little more if you're not always sitting in the stands brooding.
Brooding. He's very broody.
And then, you know, if they're setting up Archer and Darby, I mean, we'll see. Darby's good.
But that's just a credibility stretch visually, isn't it?
I think if any of the smaller guys can pull something like that off, it's Darby, who lays his shit in.
Okay, true.
And who tends to work a little smarter than everyone else. Jake, his voice is shot.
Wow.
Like you said, the weenie thing. He was dressed like Grizzly. Did you notice that? Under his leather jacket.
Yes.
It was all blue. It was all like that Grizzly outfit from Mid-South.
Grizzly used to dress somewhat like a gas station attendant. But I always gave him the benefit of the doubt because how do you find clothes that size fashionably?
And then with Team Taz, like you said, I guess Cage is turning babyface. They all walked out there. They didn't know he was going to do this. And then he just grabbed
He
the
hadn't
mic
said a
and-
word. He broke the news on national television.
I just want to let you know I respect you because you beat me and my friend and our buddy in the warehouse. By the way, it was a street fight. Why were they in a warehouse? They weren't on the street. If you're going to do a cinematic match, do it on the street.
Why is it that you drive on the parkway, but you park in your driveway? Why is that?
What's going on in AEW? We need answers to these questions. You know, I was thinking, though, if Cage is turning babyface and Team Taz is Taz, who's a great promo,
Yeah.
Ricky Starks, who is a good promo and just really good as a slimy heel. Hook, who we've not seen do anything except get kidnapped, where I think he somehow had his hat on still, even though he was kidnapped, in a bag. Hobbs, who we just haven't seen enough of what he could do. If Cage turns babyface, is that what Team Taz is? I realize how much Team Taz is actually hurt by the idea they wouldn't have Cage there. They need to have someone else in that group.
But besides that, you can't just have multiple people in multiple teams or groups or whatever switching sides weekly. It breeds indifference. And
it's like roller games. It reminds me of roller games.
So Sting can't do 30 seconds of a promo before he just walks out and walks back.
He painted his face for that. How much do you think they're paying him?
They're paying him enough to paint his face. I'll guarantee you that. The next match on this journey through hysteria, Felix with his partner Pac in the corner against Angelico. And instead of Angelico, I wrote, oh, hell no. Next match.
Oh, come on. You know, I saw a clip.
Seriously?
I saw a clip the other day. I'd never seen this before. It had to be from a few years ago. I lost it. Because we always joke about Rey Fenix, who's spectacular, but sometimes he either misses his move or he flies too far. We haven't really seen that as a problem. I've seen a lot of guys come up short, but for a guy to go too far, often, that's really talent. I saw a clip from AAA. I don't even remember. He was working with Jeff Jarrett, I think. And Jeff's at ringside, and apparently Antonio Peña's sister, who I believe is the owner and runs AAA, she's a character like Dixie on TV, I assume, based on what I saw here. She gets up from ringside, front row, and throws a drink at Jeff. And while she and Jeff are going back and forth, Rey Fenix runs to the ropes, dives through the ropes, and does that flip he does where he usually ends up going into the stands.
Yeah.
He fucking drop kicked her right in the face. The owner of AAA, he wiped her out, and then she's selling, but she's not selling like it's a work. She's selling because one of the wrestlers just ripped her head off with his foot. Oh my God, I'd never seen this before. And I was like, man, look at that. He just wiped her out.
Well, I wish he'd do some of that shit on this program. I wouldn't mind watching him. But no, I didn't watch this match, and I can't imagine you're going to tell me I should have.
No, it wouldn't have been something you liked.
All right.